Hello, hadio. How are we again? Back again. Back again. Me and my friends. We're doing this again. So I thought about telling you all how easy it is to remember. See how free we're getting on the camera? Anyways, I wanted to talk about how easy it is to remember how your telepathic communication is so easy. For those of you who have children, for those of you that have a best friend, a childhood friend that you still communicate with, someone that you just have memory of having childhood bliss and fun and just a good kiki with. Listen, all you have to do, and this is simple. I don't even know if this video is really going to be that long because it's so simple. Remember how it feels to be around that person. Remember the things you used to laugh at when you were a kid, if you were in the second grade, whatever. If you were a child and you used to have a good time with this person, you guys have a connection like no other. If you have a kid and they are just full of joy and splendor, and there's specifically something that you can recall, or they just laugh so hard when they eat chocolate chip cookies, you want to hold these things in your mind. You want to use that as a channel that you quite literally will surf on. If you were a surfer out there in the ocean and you had to ride a wave to get to point A to B, A being the thought that you want to conjure up, and B is sending it and landing it in their mind. You want to quite literally say chocolate chips. Well, let's just go with the idea that chocolate chip cookies make you guys laugh. No matter if it's a child, no matter if it is you and a best friend, chocolate chips do something for y'all. It's an inside joke. You following me? So you think about that. You think about it so much that you start to feel that feeling inside and you're like about to laugh. You can really conjure up and feel that feeling, right? In that same second after, I guess it's not the same second, but the second after, you're going to think about what it is that you're going to send to them. So if you want to just keep it as simple as, call me on the phone. Call me on the phone. You're going to think that sentence in your mind. Think about that feeling and just do it as a loop. Think that thought. Call me on the phone. Oh, we used to kiki about chocolate chips. Call me on the phone. Ooh, we used to kiki about chocolate chips. But when you're going back to the kikiing about chocolate chips, you don't repeat that in your mind. You remember the feeling. So muster up the feeling, You're feeling so happy, but you're repeating, call me on the phone, call me on the phone, call me on the phone. And this is all a mental game. We're all doing this internal. We're not saying it out loud. See how long it takes for them to call you on the phone. And I guarantee you, however long it takes is your gauge of how strong you are. So if they call you within that second, that connection is not only so open, so strong, that person probably also is well trained from you guys doing this long time ago. this connection has already been established. They can hear your message and get right to it because they see it clearly. They can receive the image in their mind if they're a visual learner of, not a visual learner, but if they're a visual person, they're going to pick up that message instantly. They're see an image of you and get the sensation, oh, I want to call her on the phone. You know, that's how they're going to receive the message. If we want to go back to like a kid, if it's your child, you have that inside joke about chocolate chips, you know, you might be telling them to sit their ass down. Sit down, sit down, sit down. So instead of, and mother, we do this all the time where you just can give a look and it's like, I'm not playing. Sit down. But you don't have to say that. But you already have a strong connection, not only because it's your child, but because you're spending so much time. They're picking up on your communication telepathically, just naturally. But you want to gauge how long it takes for them to receive that message. And the only way you know if they received it is if they tell you, oh, I was thinking about you. Or they call your ass, they follow along whatever it is that you were sending to them. So if it takes a day, if it takes a week, if it takes a month, now you know, okay, I need to practice. And you can do small things by, you, in the beginning, you want to stick with people that you have joyful connections with. You are going to notice too people that have caused some pain. You guys have some hardships. You may have an ex that you trauma bonded with, had hella arguments. You guys are connected and you could probably send a message in lightning speed. But do you really want them to call you? Do you really want to test that out? Probably not. So if you just stick with people that bring you joy, you can continue to establish positive relationships, you know, because you want to see how your psychic abilities really work. And you can imagine if you're just meeting a person, when you get more established, you're probably not going to have turmoil with the person. So you don't want to build your muscle of telepathic communication, psychic communication off of negativity. You want to be able to pick up the channel through something more positive, and then you can move on to other things later on, right? Back it up a little. So, yeah. That's all I got. It really is simple. It really is easy. What makes it so easy is because you can immediately recall things that have made you happy. It's especially easy with friends, siblings. I mean, literally just call up a sister, a brother. I mean, I used to play a game when I was a kid with my cousin who was damn near like my twin brother. And we used to just play. I mean, how many kids used to do that? Tell me what I'm thinking. Tell me what I'm thinking. But instead of thinking so hard and just like hoping they're going to pick up, I'm thinking about apples. The idea is that you conjure up the connection that you and that person have, because it's like dialing their number. If you want to call somebody on the phone, you have to put their number in. So if you want to narrow down your focus and make sure your message is going to the right destination, you have to pick up on their frequency. You have to pick up on you guys' established connection. And if you don't have one, this is why some psychics and mediums, they need something. They need a brush. They need some clothes. They need something. They need to smell something of theirs. They need something, or else it's just like a blind shot in the dark of all of these fishes in the sea. Like, you don't know how you're going to catch what you need if you don't even know what you're going after. So yes, this emotional connection will keep your target clear. And of course, like I said, you can move and navigate with different emotions. You got somebody that irritates the shit out of you, you can use that as a connection. You know? And as you practice with this person, it's also subconsciously training them on their telepathic communication and their psychic abilities as well. So just by you practicing, and if you're always trying to send a message to your child,